Hello, welcome to my photo studio and to ProPhotoLife.com. If you've seen previous ProPhotoLife.com lighting videos, you know I like to stress the importance of understanding the basics of lighting, and I often do that using these simple pan lights, which we're going to use again today. They have regular household bulbs in them, just 100-watt bulbs. We're also going to throw in a little curve. We're going to have one of these daylight balanced fluorescent spiral light bulbs on hand. It's basically the same output as these bulbs, and we're going to use a plexiglass stage to create a no shadow photograph. So take a look at all we can accomplish using just these simple tools and a couple of stick-in-a-cans. We will start with our sawhorses that we normally use. We usually use a tabletop with a laminate on it, but today we're going to use a piece of plexiglass. This is 1/8 inch, pretty thin plexi. I probably stole it from a picture frame, to be honest. And we're going to photograph my Panasonic Lumix, my point-and-shoot camera. It's a beautifully crafted little thing with a Leica lens. And to photograph this metal, we'll use a side light. We often start with this kind of light. It just works well for these small products. I'm using a stick-in-a-can and a screen off to the right side. The camera's angled into the light. So with our 100-watt household bulb, we'll flip that on. And now we see what our main light is doing. We have overall illumination on the front of the camera, but there's still some areas we need to address. So we'll create a highlight up the left side of the camera. We're just going to reflect into it with this foam core board. That helps it separate from this dark background. Now to get some reflection on the front of the camera, we're going to go underneath the plexi stage. Because it's transparent, we're able to do this. I'm using an L bracket attached to a stick-in-a-can, and then I'm going to slide this piece of foam core underneath the camera, and you can see how it's bringing up the illumination on the underside and the front of the camera. The very last area we want to address is the top of the camera. Because the top of the camera is reflecting the dark gray wall, it's gone dull. There you see now we're reflecting the light white into it. Now with our 35mm SLR camera, color balanced, this is the beautiful photo we get. This is with the camera set to tungsten white balance, the same as our lights. We're going to try something a little extra now. We're going to light up the background. Using another clamp light, we're just aiming at the background. There we go. And I apologize for the video being a little bit orange. It's not color balanced well, but our photograph is. So this is the photograph taken using that exact setup. Of course, again, the digital SLR is color balanced properly, and that's what we get straight out of the camera. Now let's switch out the tungsten bulb for this spiral daylight balanced fluorescent bulb. Keep in mind that the camera's white balance is set to match the lighting of this bulb, which is tungsten. And we're introducing daylight, which is a lot cooler in color. It's bluish in color. Let's see how that affects the photograph. So now our camera is still set to tungsten white balance. And we have a tungsten front light, but we have a daylight backlight. So that daylight bulb is very cool. It's a beautiful blue color. Now that we've seen how to get a blue background, let's switch this lamp for the one that's pointed at the camera and bring that lamp here. Now we're going to have the daylight bulb on the camera and the tungsten bulb on the background. Since the daylight bulb is going to be on the camera, we'll now switch our camera settings to daylight white balance, to balance for the front light. And that's going to let the background go warm. So just by switching the two lamps around and changing our color balance, we get this beautiful orange color in the background. So we haven't used any colored gels, we've just changed our camera settings and switched positions of the bulbs. I hope this all makes sense. You can find more information on the website. Battle of the Bulbs Shootout is something to look for. And let's take one more look at all the variations we've made in just this very short amount of time. I hope this tutorial helps with both your studio photography and with understanding color balance. The little plexiglass stage is a trick that we use often, and to be honest, we most often do use our expensive studio strobes, but I like using this stuff just to illustrate the way that light works and the way that you can begin to control your images. So please come to ProPhotoLife.com. The photographs from this video are published on the website along with all of the technical information, exposure, that kind of thing. So you get to see the higher resolution versions there. Thanks again. I'll see you at the next video.